As an early stage investor in this blockchain space, it's very interesting also to see what existing companies are using, what kind of blockchain technologies, and how it's working.
In this video, Laurenz Apiarius is going to tell you how he became the German cryptocurrency pioneer and where he sees the biggest innovation-driven changes in this field. Laurenz Apiarius is a founder and managing partner of Blockwall, the first regulatory and legally compliant German crypto asset fund on investments in blockchain technologies. He has invested in various private equity and venture capital funds.
It has not been transformed yet. It's in the process of doing so. Blockchain is a new standard as to how value can be transferred over the internet, so it clearly affects financial industries. So what we see is that there's a lot of use cases where blockchain can improve and in some cases revolutionize the financial industry as we see and know it today. Disruption is massive cost savings. So if you look at how financial transactions are being set up today, they usually go through a couple of intermediaries, and therefore there's digital transfers in place. And what blockchain at the end of the day does is to bring them all together, automate them, and therefore reducing intermediaries and therefore reducing costs. With regard to blockchain, it really tackles those things that are not only feasible in the near term, but that also have a large impact. Blockchain serves as a web, as a ground database to connect them all. If you think a couple of years ahead, you cannot go without such infrastructure, and blockchain at the end of the day is an infrastructure. Investing in it today will probably be similar to investing to it in a couple of years. You need people who can actually identify technologies, companies that in terms of blockchain that make sense and that have a use case. I personally am very, very intrigued by artificial intelligence and associated machine learning algorithms. For good machine learning algorithms to work, they need reliable sources of data. So this is where blockchain comes into play as well. So they're interconnected. Some say it's a convergence of the fourth industrial revolutions. At the end of the day, we will see. It's inevitable that those technologies are moving forward. And if you look at how China in particular has made AI a national topic 5 years ago and where they are today. And they've recently announced that blockchain technologies are now a national topic. I can speak from experience that the conversations that we have with top corporate executives that seek our advice is sometimes spend money on blockchain or AI solutions that didn't work, but they've realized that they may have not tackled the latest digitization trends as much as they would have wanted. And they see blockchain and also AI as a tool to not only keep their market share for their business model, but also reevaluate where they might go in the future without being overrun by the classical big tech giants. For a couple of years now, I've been fascinated by this whole approach of Singularity University. In other words, what technologies are having what kind of influence on us and our lives in the near future. I mean, what the Singularity Group is doing is identifying companies today that are seizing those technologies to their benefit. As an early stage investor in this blockchain space, it's very interesting also to see what existing companies are using, what kind of blockchain technologies and how it's working.